The sun beat down over the arid plains of modern-day Iraq, its heat drawing mirages from the horizon. Beneath the soil, buried for centuries in the land once known as Mesopotamia, lay a clay jar no bigger than your forearm. To a casual eye, it looked ordinary, to imagine the kind of thing that might have once held wine, oil, or a merchant's coins. But inside that jar was something that shouldn't exist, not in the world of 2,000 years ago. It was 1938 when Wilhelm Koenig, a German archaeologist working at the National Museum of Iraq, first laid eyes on it. Dug up near Baghdad, the jar had a narrow neck sealed with asphalt, and protruding from its top was a corroded copper cylinder. Inside the cylinder, when carefully removed, was an iron rod. It was an arrangement far too precise to be accidental, one that Koenig recognized from his experience in modern laboratories. To him, this was no storage vessel. This was a battery. When tested, the components seemed to match what you'd need for a simple galvanic cell. Copper and iron separated by an acidic or alkaline liquid, such as vinegar or lemon juice, could generate an electric current. If the jar were filled, it could produce perhaps a single volt, maybe two. Not much by modern standards, but enough to shock the imagination. The idea was almost unthinkable. Could people in ancient Mesopotamia, 2 millennia before the invention of the modern battery, have harnessed electricity? The mystery deepened when more jars of similar design were discovered nearby. Some even contained residue that could have been the remains of acidic liquids. The pieces were there, but the puzzle had no clear picture. Historians and scientists began to speculate. If these were indeed batteries, what could they have been used for? One theory points to electroplating, coating objects in a thin layer of gold or silver. The ancient Parthians, who ruled this region, were skilled metalworkers. Electricity might have given them a secret advantage, allowing them to produce dazzling artifacts with techniques lost to time. Others suggest the batteries might have been used for medicinal purposes. A mild current could, in theory, have been used to stimulate muscles or treat ailments, crude electrotherapy, long before such a thing was known to modern medicine. And then there are the more speculative ideas. Some propose the Baghdad Battery was a teaching tool, an ancient curiosity built to demonstrate the strange behavior of metals and liquids, much like school experiments today. Others go further, imagining it as a piece of technology handed down from an even older, forgotten civilization. A few, the boldest, whisper about connections to beings from beyond our world, hinting that this was a relic of alien contact, a fragment of knowledge too advanced for its time. Skeptics, of course, aren't convinced. They argue the jar was simply a storage vessel, its copper and iron parts part of some mundane function now misunderstood. Without a complete, working example and definitive proof, they say, the ancient battery remains a fascinating but unproven hypothesis. Still, there is something undeniably strange about it. Holding a replica in your hands, feeling the weight of that fired clay and the smoothness of the copper, you can't help but wonder. The design is too deliberate, the parts too neatly aligned to dismiss entirely. Imagine the scene 2,000 years ago. A craftsman, in a dimly lit workshop, carefully sealing copper and iron inside a clay vessel. Outside, the streets of the ancient city hum with the sound of merchants and the smell of spices in the air. Inside, something quietly stirs in that jar, a trickle of invisible power running through metal and liquid, bridging millennia to reach us today. Perhaps the Baghdad Battery is nothing more than an archaeological curiosity, a jar misinterpreted by eager modern minds. Or perhaps it is proof that our ancestors were not only skilled builders and artisans, but also experimenters, tinkerers, scientists in their own right. We may never know the full truth. The jar sits in a museum now, stripped of whatever liquid it once held, its secrets locked away as tightly as the asphalt that once sealed its neck. But that's the beauty of mysteries like this. They remind us that history isn't a straight line of progress, but a tapestry of brilliance, loss, and rediscovery. Sometimes, the past holds flashes of light far ahead of their time, sparks that make us question just how much we really know about those who came before us. Thank you for joining me on this journey into one of the most electrifying and puzzling discoveries in archaeology. But now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you believe the Baghdad Battery was truly a source of ancient power, or simply a misunderstood artifact? Could it be proof of lost technology, or even something not of this earth? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I truly love reading your theories. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, please like, comment, and share. It truly helps keep these stories alive. Until next time, keep wondering and keep searching.